So, it's time for episode 4. Now, the first thing that I added was the city that, as of now, I've been referring to it as Eden, but that can always change in the future. It takes place in the fire area, and this part right here is a vanilla village that I'm in the process of changing to look more like the buildings do in the map. In this clip, it doesn't look too well because it just looks like a vanilla village. But in the future, I'll be working on it, and it should look how the rest of the map looks. This part is a river, just made by me, so it doesn't look that good. And it has these flowers and berries along the side, which is the same colors as the flag, and so that's where they get their flag from. They have those dyes along the river. This next area over here is where the shop is located, and you can buy weapons and items. There's also a bank where you can put stuff in an ender chest, and just a library. And there's some more decorational stuff there. The way the shop works is you will earn money by completing quests, and you can find how much you have on the pause menu, and then you could just use that towards buying items. Most things cost 1. I've been calling them like shop tokens for now, but I didn't really know what to call them. So yeah, it will cost like 1 token for each item, but then there are some things like extra health, which will last for 2 hours, or an enchanted bow, which will cost more. There is kind of a problem with it, that whenever you press the button to buy something, it looks for the closest player like to the button, so you might accidentally have like your friend buy something instead of you. And another thing is that if somebody else has more, like say you don't have any money and you still press a button, but your friend has enough money for it, it's gonna take the money from them. The next thing I added was the Earth Defense spell, which, as you saw right there, it creates a ring of fire around you. And the cooldown, I have set to 5 seconds, if I remember correctly, but that's just for testing, so I could like spam it, I guess. But in the future, I'm changing that. Now, the way that you're going to be earning money and rewards for completing quests is by this system right here. It's inspired by how MVM works in Team Fortress 2, where once you complete a quest, it will give you a set of random items. So there are it gives you 2 sets of different items, and then each of those can be anything from 0 shop tokens to 3 shop tokens. And here are all the items. You can't get all of them from the that system, like the enchanted bow or the Eden teleport scroll you can't get, but you can get the Orvar teleport scroll, which looks like this. I'm really happy with the way that the teleport scrolls came out, because I mean they have just cool sound effects and particles, and I think it feels pretty satisfying to use. Although with the Orvar one, I'm not sure if it also happens with the Eden one, but it kind of cuts off the sound effect early. The next thing I added was this system where if you pick up a spell but you don't have that class selected, it's just gonna drop it and spawn in a new one. Because I was doing a playtest with my friends of the first quest, and we noticed that a lot of times, especially in like close quarters, you end up accidentally picking up somebody else's spell when it tries to give it to them. And so this way, instead of just being like, hey, who has my spell, can you just drop it? Instead, it will automatically do that for you. Because, you know, like sometimes you don't hear your friends, or you just don't realize that you have their thing. Or you could purposely try to steal it. The next thing that I did, I talked about it in the previous episode, that sometimes the water spell, you wouldn't be able to use it if you're staring directly at an enemy, and so I just changed that. And you can also hear that I added a sound effect for not having enough mana, but I'm probably going to be changing that because it's very loud, so I'll either make it quieter or just have a new sound effect that's not as annoying. So that's about all I have this time. Thanks for watching.